We live.
Noise. Not for long, though.
I'm just double
At
checking.
least if Night Hunter gets his way, it's not for long.
Okay,
I
why?
heard something about me getting my way. What?
If you get your way, we're not going to be live for long.
Oh, we'll see.
Okay, we're supposed to be live. Why is... Because I'm checking my Twitch page to make sure it's still...
It
Okay,
takes
there we
a
go.
little bit.
Okay,
Yeah,
because it said I was still hosting Rabbit.
It's been having issues lately.
Well, it updated.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to do link bombs real fast.
Go for it. I'm gonna turn on a secondary light because it just occurred to me that this room is a lot darker than I thought it was. God damn.
Might help if I actually copy the link. Okay, now I can do link bombs.
Okay, there we go.
Yes, we are finally back to this game. Yay! Life is no longer kicking everybody in the butt.
I mean, that's
I
incorrect because it is, but
Well,
Sometimes it kicks you in the grundle.
Well, it's let up enough on the butt kicking that we can get back to this. How's that?
it's still kicking my ass.
it's still.
It's giving us a break.
For those who know,
I don't know about that.
For those who know what a curb stomp is, yeah, that's my face right there. Yeah. Spooky music, anyways.
I'm still doing the link bombs, and I think that's it, yeah. Now I just need to send the, put the link on Twitter, and we're good to go.
Should have had coffee.
Might help if I type an E when instead of a W. Okay. There's all that. Have I need to PM you with, or I'll just put it in quick message.
What's going on?
I just
We'll take a break, and then that's when you'll want to bring.
okay.
Because you still have an in-game day.
Yeah.
So,
Alrighty.
so I'll let you know.
I'm so bad. I haven't practiced dwarf voice for a while.
How do you think I feel? I haven't touched any of these voices in years, and I have more of them that I have to do. Isn't that fun?
Wonderful.
Isn't that great?
It's great to be a DM.
God, it's like shooting yourself in the foot repeatedly. Anyways. How are we going to commence the normal intros that we do?
It's gonna be weird not to be introducing myself as the DM.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be weird introducing myself as that. Yeah. But go ahead, Ash. Do your thing.
Alrighty. I think I'm actually first now. Alright. Hello, everyone. I am Ash, the player for Annabelle, the human artificer, who's currently in jail.
In a sorts, in a version of jail. Maybe worse.
Royal
maybe
jail.
Better. Maybe worse, maybe better. You don't know yet.
It's royal jail. My bag of holding is gonna explode.
Hopefully not.
I'll just have to dump everything out of it before I go into an anti-magic zone.
But so I guess that leads into me. Hello, everyone. I'm Danny Boop, the streamer for this, and I play Miki, the Sawat Owl open hand, the Sawat Owl Kinku open hand monk. The It's been a while since I had to play the character, so I'm still a little discombobulated.
It's fine. I am small. I play Torgrim, the brute fighter, and I'm in danger.
But don't worry.
I'm in danger.
Don't worry. Quite literally, all of you are. There is no reason for you to feel safe ever in this world.
Yes, but as of right now, what my character says depends on whether he's gonna get his ass beat or whether he's going to get probably a not so horrible ass beating.
Can take it to Pound Town on a silver platter.
That's okay. Okay. Let's not. Well, we still can.
I know what I said, and I said what I meant.
That's what scares me. That's what does not make me comfortable with that. No. Very well then.
Dad,
Hi,
burn train.
I'm-
Sorry if y'all hear that. Sorry. Train.
No, it's fine.
I hear it, but for a different reason.
Hello, I'm Night Hunter. I'm the reason these crazy people keep coming back to this world. I don't know why, but they do. Anywho, so last time we played, which feels like years ago, the party was found by a very angry, a very angry royal guard, who then proceeded to inform them, "Hey, Tacitus is dead," and then demanded that they all make their way to the palace. After the party was brought up the street and into the palace grounds, they were led up the stairs to a large chamber where multiple people, who all looked very, very upset, were kind of waiting for them to explain. And as they were explaining, a certain friend came by and decided they wanted to say hello to him. Now, only one of the players knows who this is currently, Anduo being that person. No one else knew up until, well, the king let it slip that, yeah, that's my son. After a little further discussion and the party getting separated, Torgrim was left in the room with Altreus, who uttered, "Where is my niece?" to him. Miki, as well as Oleg, have been taken to the throne room to speak with the king, and have spoken with the king. Miki was informed that her brother, Derek, had made it to the city in order to bring her home, and also that Oleg's old master had come by to speak with his former pupil. Annabelle was carted off to a jail cell.
As you do.
Yeah. So, let's dive right in. I need everyone to roll me a d20, please.
Public roll or just to you?
Public roll.
Alright.
Alright.
15.
13.
Ah, well,
13. All right.
rolling like shit.
Torgrim's going last.
Alright. I'm
You
fine
get
with this.
to wait even longer.
I get to be anxious, child.
Yep. Welcome to the world. So, Annabelle. You are
Yes.
currently being escorted by 4 guards However, they're not autumn guards. Come to think of it, you haven't seen any. And
Alright.
they are currently leading you down a hallway, and instead of the wallpaper and maroon carpet leading you down, you begin to see where it changes into stone. No decor, no chandeliers from the ceiling, but torches on the wall instead. Begin to continue leading you down that dark hallway.
Alright.
5 minutes pass. 10 minutes. 15 minutes pass of you just walking behind all them. And then they stop. And then to your right, there's a single door. One of them opens the door, and the other three begin to kind of box you in so that you can only go into said door.
Yeah, she's not providing any sort of opposition at all.
You enter into a plain white room. The walls are of smooth stone. It almost feels like they've been very deliberately polished and smoothened.
Mm. Alright.
All right, in you go.
Yeah. She walks in.
All right, close it up. You hear one of them say, and then the door itself that they had opened up for you was just a normal knob and swivel door. However, that door begins to recede down into the ground, and in its place, a large white stone wall seals you inside.
Mm. Can I look around and see if there's any sort of like markings on the wall that seem to be indicating like any sort of anti-magic? Because it's kind of what she was assumed was going to happen.
Roll an investigation check.
All right, let me get my sheet open and do that. It's only a 14.
None that you can see. You begin to think that it might be on the other side of the wall. You're not sure.
Would make sense. All right.
Anything in particular you're gonna do whilst inside the chamber?
I mean, just gonna look around for a second. There seem to be like any sort of observation windows in here. Or is it just literally a plain, like solid stone chamber?
4 smooth stone walls, ceiling and floor identical. No windows. Oh no.
Hmm. I mean, it doesn't really seem that there's a whole lot she can do while she's in here other than wait.
I mean, you have your things.
Yeah, but I don't think they'd take kindly to her to start brewing potions while in prison.
I mean, there's a reason they left you everything.
I
You
guess.
you have nothing but time.
Fair enough. I guess she'll try to occupy her time by getting out her alchemist supplies, which she does still have on her. She keeps them in her bag of holding. And just sort of going through the motions of starting a couple of things. She's actually just because of those memories she saw, she's actually going to take out those. She still has them. What used to be the vials of the black ichor.
Okay. They are still empty.
Well, I thought they had just turned into water before.
No, they had emptied out.
Okay.
When you put them near the siphon, like when you uncorked one and put it on there, they all emptied.
Oh.
So it was just they were clear now.
Okay. When you said they were clear before, I thought you meant they had turned into like a clear liquid.
Oh no, my apologies. It's just they were essentially empty. The vials were just clear of everything. Oh, what was that?
A box fell on me.
Well,
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I just didn't expect it. It's a box of a bunch of those. I forget what that game is called. The one with the little action figurines.
that doesn't help. That does not help describe the
Disney
game.
Infinity.
Yeah, that one.
How? You know what? Never mind.
I'm on a couch and their box of it is sitting next to me on a couch on top of another box,
Ah,
and it fell on me. Anyways, that one almost knocked my bowl of food over too. That would have been bad.
so you begin to brew some potions or something.
Less brew potions and more just go over her supplies. Basically, internally taking inventory because she knows she hasn't done it in a while.
Very well.
She is going to pull out the siphon.
Okay.
It's going to be kind of weird because she's never tried to do anything like this before. Okay. And she sort of like holds the blade in her lap and just looks down at it. Not really thought to do this before, but I forget, does the siphon have any sort of like, does it ever like move at all? Except for when it spits out rocks made of goo?
Not that you see.
Well, I still assume that there's something in there. Celio, are you still in there?
No response.
Hmm.
Just casually talking to your sword.
As you do. Well, if you are in there and you're just being a dick and not talking to me, I'm kind of curious about something. I met your boss, both in a vision and in a semi-metaphorical, literal sense. Curious what you think of that. Thinking he'll come get you? Or are you just shaking in your boots like honestly I was when I saw him? Dude's a freak.
Still nothing.
Well, you're either dead or you just don't have a mouth to talk with. Maybe I'll figure out the latter eventually. Well, guess I'm going to wait until someone comes talk to me. And until then, what does she want to mess around with in her inventory? You know what? She's going to do some study of something, actually, because due to what recently just happened and one of their close party friends died because of it, she's going to try to do some study into the yellow toadstool to see if she can create a more potent, basically something more potent to neutralize toxins.
Alright. Go ahead and roll with your alchemy supplies.
Alrighty then. If only I had advantage. That's a 16 at least.
How many yellow toadstools do you have in your inventory?
21.
Okay. It takes a little while, actually. Takes you about a good 4 hours, but you manage to make a very high concentrate using 10 of them, and it does work. It would neutralize any sort of toxin, and in this form, it does not hamper any sort of like healing potion or anything like that. It solely works as a toxin cleanser. It does not have any sort of strange effect like the just standard yellow toadstool. It is a purified antidote for most toxins and or poisons. You haven't tried it yet, but with the way it's coming, it seems to be adequate enough to serve those purposes.
All right, so it no longer neutralizes potions, but can neutralize almost any toxin.
Correct. Any sort of known toxin, yes, it seems to be able to neutralize.
And I'm assuming that the bulk of the toadstools were used up in experimentation. Would you have an
Yes.
idea of how many toadstools it took to make the actual successful one?
In terms of how much it took to make the successful one, out of the 10 you used up, it took 4.
Okay. I just
So-
want to know so I can add that to the actual of my giant recipe list I have.
Yeah, so 6 of them were used up via trial and error. However, on those last 4, you were able to make it work. So you have that now.
Awesome. And after that, she'll probably just start again doing inventory, figuring out everything she had, and start patching up her own wounds because she was hiding it before, but she is actually very badly hurt. Like she has several like puncture wounds going into her chest that she just kind of didn't tell anyone about.
I was gonna say, yeah, you haven't fixed those, have you?
Yeah, she hasn't.
Oh,
She has a bad habit of not helping herself.
okay. Well, give me 1 second then. I get to do a thing.
They were made by ice, if that matters anything.
It does. However, you are very lucky. The wounds seem to be there's no like the
And she
damage
would have.
is. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and she would have used things like prestidigitation and just general field knowledge to clean them already.
Yeah,
That would have been one of the first things she did.
yeah. There's nothing. I can't really say abnormal, but there's nothing to the point where a few potions or what have you can't fix, or a healing drop can't fix. So you're fine. You're fine in that regard.
Yeah, speaking of healing drafting, she's gonna go ahead and use one. Not a lot, but she'll need whatever healing she can have.
I was gonna say healing is healing in this.
Alright, that brings her up to 21. Because Annabelle was at 16 out of 39 health. So she was actually very badly injured.
After a little while longer, after that first 4 hours, you hear on the wall where the door was.
I'm not exactly sure I have the jurisdiction to let you in, but I'm ready to receive anyone.
The wall lowers, and you don't see any guards. You don't see Sylvan. However, you see someone in a very dark maroon robe, their face obscured by some form of shadow. Some sort of shadow. But they are standing in the doorway, which is a little weird because you would think you could see their face, but something's not letting you.
Like, even with my dark vision goggles, I can't see their face?
Correct.
Well, that's ominous. Are you an executioner or something?
Executioner? Oh, no. No, I'm not. I'm simply here to check on you.
Well, I'm doing alright. Haven't hung myself by my shoelaces, though there's not anything really to tie them to. So, she says, looking up.
Question for you, Annabelle.
Alright.
Do you still have my coin?
Annabelle suddenly becomes very suspicious. Your coin.
Yes. My coin.
Can
If
I
memory
ins...
serves it,
Sorry.
if memory, no, you're fine. If memory serves me correct, Master Colleen should have given it to you.
I want to insight this person.
Go ahead.
Shite! I hate auto rolling with the auto rolling with advantage thing because it makes me wish that I had advantage so badly.
Every time.
Uh,
This person is very hard to get a grasp on. First and foremost, they're not being escorted by any guards. They had the power to open your door. And they know about something you've had for a very long time. You have no idea. It's a little spooky.
yes, I do still have that coin.
May I see it? And the figure holds out their right hand, and their right hand looks very familiar.
Familiar how?
You see gauntlets.
Annabelle
Point-
internally. Sorry.
Pointed tipped gauntlets that look like something you've seen very recently.
Alright, I hate to be this person, but in an out of game sense, it's been a while since we played, so where have I seen these recently?
They look exactly like the gauntlets Altreus has on his hands at all times.
Alright, kind of figured that was it, just making sure.
The only other character in this game, other than the prince, who I have said wears gauntlets. that
You
are
said one other person that has them.
yes, but you don't know of them. And this is the only person you would know of that has those kind of gauntlets. Because they look exactly the same.
But it's not Altreus, I can tell that much.
Not by the
Altreus
voice.
is... Yeah. Sure. She's actually going to reach down the front of her sweater and pull it out of basically the little necklace pendant she keeps it on. And just pops it out. And basically just thumb flicks it to him.
As it flicks toward his hand, it stops right above his middle finger. And it's floating. Floats into the center of his hand. It kind of brings it up toward his face. And you get the distinct sense that he's looking at it. Because as it's sitting there in his hand, closer to his face, it begins to spin around. And the once blank coin begins to spin faster and faster and faster. And then, as it slows down, you begin to notice something. On one side, you begin to see a crescent moon. On the other side, you see a wolf's mouth, open, with a small flame inside of it. It slowly begins to just turn in his hands. And then he extends his hand out closer to the door. However, he's not actually in the doorway. He gestures for you to take it.
Annabelle assumes something really bad would happen if she actually made to move towards that door. So she's just going to summon up the mage hand from her gauntlet and take it.
How are you going to summon the mage hand?
Well, it's just the mage hand that's enchanted into her glove, so I assume she just does the somatic components and summons it.
But
It-
you're in a room that negates all the use of magic.
Oh. I asked about that earlier, and you didn't say yes or no, and she was able to use prestidigitation to clean her wounds.
I thought you did that before entering the room.
I never was given a chance. I was being dragged by guards.
No, I meant on the way to the palace. I thought you did it on the way to the palace.
Wounds. She is proficient in that. In that case,
You are roboting.
sorry. I'm gonna say this right now, sir. If you get me in trouble by doing this, I'm not gonna be happy. But she sort of
Oh,
pushed. Sorry.
Don't worry. You won't get in trouble.
Yeah, she's gonna push herself up and walk towards the person to take the coin back.
Roll a wisdom saving throw, please.
All right, this can only bode well. Hooray for +2. Hey, it's 15.
As you kind of get up off the ground and make your way toward this figure, something's very off to the point where you feel like you shouldn't be. Like something in your brain is telling you, don't go near this person. Why are you going near this person? That's a bad idea. But continue forward. And as you reach out and grab the coin, you know what really, really cold metal feels like? As if it were just like submerged in ice water.
Yeah, the sort of almost sting that it puts on your skin,
Yeah, that's what you're feeling as you grab the coin.
even through her gloves.
Even through your gloves.
That's cold metal.
Yep.
Thank you. I'm assuming. Actually, at this point, I'm not assuming anything. I don't know what's going on here.
Very few people do.
Ain't that the truth? Who are you? She says. She's gonna, since she's this much closer to him now, can she tell if that, obscuration of his face is something that's specifically being done magically?
Roll an Arcana check.
I mean, that's what she's assuming because he's specifically not stepping into the room. 25.
It's more than likely magic based. However, there might be something else at play. You can definitely tell that he is keeping kind of a wide berth from the entryway to the room. He's a good 2-3 feet back from it. However, something else seems to be keeping his face concealed.
Gotcha. Can I ask you a question?
You can ask, but I might not answer. You can certainly try that. I'll always let that happen.
Well, I'm not going to ask something so foolish like, who are you? Because I know that's not going to get answered. But I do want to ask, how do you know me? Because you addressed this specifically to me.
It is my business to know people. It is my reason for existing, let's say. I know quite a few people. And to be quite frank, it's not very hard to gather a name, especially from other mortals.
Well, can't fault you there. People don't exactly keep their lips very tight.
No, they do not. It's quite amusing.
Alright then. I'm assuming you won't tell me what you've just done to this little keepsake here.
Silence.
Figured as much. Alright then. Well, I'm currently awaiting to be told whether or not I'm going to be put to the guillotine for allowing a close associate of the prince to die, so... Yep. I guess you better skedaddle before that happens. Because I am assuming you are not here on official business.
Oh, I don't think you have too much to worry about. However, he is semi-conscious right now. In a lot of pain, but semi-conscious. Memory serves me correct, he can't really feel his leg. I think. That'll go away in time.
Yeah. It's a very tentative sigh of relief, but she does let one out. That's good to hear, at least. Do you know what I did?
Exactly what you did. You saw some things that no one else was meant to see. You coerced. Oh no, not coerced. It's not the right word. It's the right word. Well, you drugged the prince. You got his bodyguard killed, and yeah.
Shame I wasn't hired to assassinate the boy, because that would have been a lot easier.
Oh, you would have done a marvelous job.
Luckily I'm not for that line of work. Quite
By-
against it, really.
By the way,
Yeah?
the star-eyed one says hello, and that they'll be seeing you soon.
Get the fuck out of my cell.
The door begins to slowly raise up. Figure still stands there. And then the door shuts.
Annabelle's just kind of gonna try to not really be able to control the fact, just drop to her knees hearing that. Face just going pale. Oh, no, not that again. Oh, that wouldn't come up again. Get yourself together, Annabelle. She left it to you. You can deal with this. And she'll go back to where all of her stuff is just sort of plopped on the ground and just a bit more shakily this time, but just continue working on some of her things.
Alrighty. And as this is going on, Miki, you are currently in a side room. You have been ushered here, as you have been told this is where your brother was going to meet.
Okay.
About 15 or so minutes pass, and then you hear a
Come in?
as the door opens, you see your older brother, Derek. Oh, hey. It's been a while, little one. And he kind of pats her head a bit.
She just kind of looks up at him, like, trying to hold it together. And then just her resolve crumbles, tears start welling up, and she just hugs him as tight as she can. And is crying.
Begins to hug back. You've been on quite the journey, haven't you?
I don't think I was ready.
No one's ready on their first time out.
I was stepping in owlbear poop.
You stepped in what now?
When I at the start of all this, before coming into the city, I stepped in owlbear poo.
He looks down at your feet for a moment, and he kind of looks back up to you. That's a very strange way to start off an adventure.
Yeah. So, I guess with you being here, that means Mom and Dad want me to come home.
Well, you know, after you mentioned werewolves and other things, they kind of thought it might be a good idea for you to come back for a while. Just in case.
Yeah. I've missed you guys.
Mom and Dad have missed you too. Also, there's someone else who you can meet.
Did Charlotte make a new friend?
We actually have another baby sister now.
She just kind of like stunned silence, and then if a bird could smile, the biggest smile would be on her face. And tea kettle squee, but I'm not gonna do that to y'all's ears.
I was gonna say, please no, that hurts. That'll hurt a lot.
Just imagine a tea kettle squee. That is the happy noise that is coming out of this little kenku.
So, I do have transportation for us. And if you aren't able to, I can give you a full day. That maybe helps so that you can say your goodbyes.
Yeah. I don't like wiping at her beak, just like I don't know if I'll be allowed to say goodbye to Annabelle yet though. She got put in jail, I think.
Just kind of looks at you. Why?
She was trying to help the prince with something, and long story short, his bodyguard died in the process, and she took all the blame.
Kind of blinks at you a couple of times. So you have a day, and then we'll head home.
Okay. Oh, while we're still here, and I have, if you would want to walk around the city with me some, I have, there's a shop here that if you wanted to get a bag of holding, you could.
I actually have a little bit of business,
Oh, okay.
so maybe tomorrow before we leave.
Okay, although the shopkeeper's a little weird, but he's also kind of fun. If that makes sense.
He kind of tilts his head to you. Tilts his head at that. Kind of?
He's like made of metal!
He tilts his head to the other side. Made of metal?
Yeah, I don't know, it's just... I could probably explain it on the way home better, because we'll have more time.
Alrighty, well, I'm gonna go. I need to start getting some preparations done. I have a few people that Abbot Maxwell wanted me to visit.
Okay. Guess first thing I could probably do is see if I'm allowed to go back to the inn, get my things first. Or well, at least get them organized.
Roll a perception check for me.
Perception?
Yes.
That's a 10. God, that nat 20 on the other side!
You hear a lot of rushed movement behind the door that the brother just came in. Sound of armor plates just kind of hitting against each other as people begin to kind of move past. But they don't stop in front of the door. They just go by, and you hear 1, 2, 10 sets of footsteps go off.
What the?
Well, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, Oh no, I hope Oleg didn't get in trouble again. I don't know if I should go look. She's just gonna kind of go and peek her head out the door.
Alrighty. You see 10 guards, all wearing some very heavy plate armor. They begin to look like they're running, like sprint, almost trying to, not sprint, but like half sprint, I guess you could really call it, down the hall, and they begin to make their way and turn a corner. You don't get a very good glimpse at everything because they moved by fairly quickly, but you saw there were quite a few of them, and they were going in the direction of the room you entered in at the very beginning of all of this today. The room that one of your compatriots might be in. You feel a hand just kind of pat your head and just like, what you looking at?
I just saw a bunch of guards go into a room that I think one of my friends is in.
Well, that's not good. Maybe we should go and check on them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Let's go.
Alright, lead the way, little one.
And she's gonna head toward the room.
Alrighty. Meanwhile, Torgrim. You currently have a very, very angry man grabbing you by the scruff of your shirt. His face is very close to you, and his eyes look like they are going to burn through the back of his skull. And he just uttered, "Where's my niece?" Also,
Oh God.
his canines look like they're getting a little sharper.
Torger's very, very scared. He's not gonna lie to himself. He's kind of spooked. If I could tell you where she went, I would. I don't know of her location.
He's still staring at you intently.
Alright, oh boy. The last I spoke with her, she wanted to go off and do some things for her patron. And trust me, I did ask if I could go, begged her, but she just wouldn't let me. And I am not one to fuss. She didn't want me to get hurt.
He kind of gets a little bit closer and he pulls his right hand and you hear the gauntlet you see the claws are very, very close to your eyes. You can see that there might be a little bit of blood on them currently.
Mm.
If anything bad happens to my niece, you are going to be my new tutor. Do you understand?
Crystal clear.
Good. And he kind of puts you back down in the chair. Roll a perception check with disadvantage, please.
Torgrim means what you would define as shook. Oh, perception. 8.
That's an 8. You're very intent on making sure that Mr. Eltrius doesn't want to skin you alive. And
He
then
was being honest.
the doors behind you slam open. You see 10 guards all wearing full plate mail, looking like they just ran like 3 miles. And he immediately turns his attention to them. What is it? One of them moves over and begins to whisper something in his ear. You don't catch much of it because, you're still kind of freaked out.
Those
You
claws
hear,
were awfully close to my eyes.
you hear the words, city burning and no survivors.
Oh! That's nice to hear.
And you see his eyes, you see his pupils actually narrow at that. He kind of looks at you. Go.
So he's just gonna silently nod, get up, and scurry out of the goddamn room.
You
He's not gonna
two-
fight with Ultras.
As you begin to get up and leave the room, you see Miki, as well as someone else, appear behind her, in front of you, blocking your exit from said room.
Togrim!
No, I got no time. I gotta go.
Oh, hi, little one.
He's just gonna kind of like, and just kind of like give the look of, I'm not that little.
Well, I guess, well, Derek, I don't know what you need to take care of. I'm gonna walk with Tolgrim for a bit, okay?
Okay. I'll see you later.
Alright.
And he walks off.
If Torgrim could get paler, that's what you see, Miki.
She's looking at him, concerned and just a little sad.
I could have been killed.
Oh, that wouldn't have been good.
Reyes was not happy with not knowing where his niece was.
Excuse me, what did you just fucking say?
I said you were not happy not knowing where your niece was. That's
You
all.
just call me a her.
It was an accident! It was an accident on my part!
You hear footsteps come up behind you. And a hand gets placed on your head. Very cold. Oh look, hey, it's those claws again. They're right above your eyes.
That was literally an accident on my part. Leave me alone, DM.
I find this much more hilarious.
You surely know how nervous I am, Atreus. It was just... My mind is a little off. Apologies. I did not mean it.
He kind of leans down near your ear. Get going, little lamb chop.
Mm. Alright! Gonna kind of take Miki's little burb hand and just kind of walk off out. He doesn't even know where he's gonna go. He's gotta go.
Okay, I guess we're going this way.
He just said to go. He didn't say where.
Well, I said I was going to be walking with you, so I told the truth.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, out of game. I don't know where to go. I'm a headless chicken at this point.
That's up to you. Where would you like to go?
Honestly, I don't know. I honestly really don't. Like, should I leave the palace? Will Atreus get pissed if I leave the palace?
I mean, I don't think there's anything you can do that he is not going to be by.
Yeah, that's true.
You could die, and he would still be because he didn't get to do it.
Yeah.
I'll actually are you both just kind of standing there in the hallway?
I guess we're just kind of walking, also while trying to figure out where to go.
Okay. As you are walking away, there's more guards running about. And you see three figures approaching you. There are no guards next to them. One is wearing deep blue robes and appears to be a high elven woman. The next one is wearing a set of red robes. They appear to be a dragonborn, a blue dragonborn. And then the third one seems to be very familiar to you, Morgan.
Uh-huh.
A figure in maroon robes with gauntlets on his hand. Can't see his face. You get that creeping feeling crawling up your back again.
But I see his gauntlets.
You see the gauntlets.
Ah, good to know that with Altreus literally just done ready to tear me up. That's not Altreus.
Somehow that's a little bit more unsettling.
Yeah, yes it is.
All three of them begin to just pass you. And you hear in your head, just keep walking, little dwarf.
Okay. I'm gonna be a good dwarf and listen.
So, where do you two go?
Well, Danny, you did say Miki wanted to go grab her stuff from the inn.
She would bring up that if they'd be allowed to leave, she'd want to go gather her things and would explain why.
Oh yeah, you're allowed to leave. You're not the ones who are in confinement.
Alright,
Hey!
go grab your... You can go grab your stuff.
For, I guess, a walk while talking thing.
Yeah.
So, the guy who I was with, that's my brother.
Oh. Seems like a nice lad.
He is. He's actually here to take me home.
Oh. Sad to hear you're leaving, but it's alright. Do what you must.
Yeah, I really wasn't ready for all this yet.
She's gonna, like, you carefully rub her back for comfort. Just like, I understand. What we've been through has been, rough, to say the least.
Yeah. But, well, I think I at least got a couple of new stories for the library.
That you did.
I made friends.
That you did too. But it's alright. There's no need to be sad about it. I understand. It's your choice. If you want to leave, you can.
I just hope that you all will be able to handle everything. I hope Annabelle doesn't get... She just stops talking and you can see tears forming in her eyes again.
Oh no. Uh, um, hold on, I'm looking for something. He's just gonna kind of like, I don't know if he has like a napkin or anything, or like a tissue of sorts. Just kind of wipe her tears away, you know, give her a hug. It's all right. I like to believe that everything will turn out all right.
Do you think they'd let me see her?
Yeah, I think we'll be able to see her.
I'm gonna go do that before I go get my things together. Would you walk with me?
Of course. It's the last time I'll be able to see her before you leave. Might as well.
I'm not leaving until tomorrow. It's just, I don't know how long Annabelle's gonna be there, and I want to make sure I get a chance to say goodbye or see you later, whatever it'll be.
Yeah, you probably get to. Especially for something like this. Well, it also depends on how fast Sillerin will be on recovering. As he is the one who gets to choose the verdict. So it all depends on how fast he recovers. But I believe it'll be quite soon.
I hope so. We're supposed to protect him.
Honestly, I believe it is partially my fault for letting him get injured like and Tacitus. It was Annabelle's idea in the first place, but I was the one in the room and I wasn't able to see what happened. And I'm no healer.
Neither am I. I hit things good, that's really... and I write things down.
Yeah. Hitting things just seems to be what we do. Which is okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Well, let's go see if they'll let us see Annabelle.
Of course. We're gonna go head back to the palace after getting Mickey's stuff.
I mean, no. Sorry, continue. Trying to make sure timetable of everything.
Okay. I'm gonna head back to the palace. Danny?
Yeah.
Alright. Heading back to the palace.
Alrighty. At the palace gates, you see two large robotic figures.
Ooh.
Oh, more metalmen. I don't know. She's just muttering to herself.
He just kind of, pats her shoulder.
These
Like,
ones, to be specific.
Oh, neat.
Yep, two of those. You remember these, don't you?
Yep.
You remember what they do.
Yep.
They're standing just like that, swords out and everything.
Discomfort?
It's the kind you have to not be hostile around, I think is what it is.
I think so.
The one on your left kind of just looks at you.
I don't even know if I should talk to them or even what to say.
They look back at one another, then look back to you.
Do you have business at the palace?
Yes, we're wanting to see a friend who's being held here.
Kind of looks down at you.
Identification papers.
She'll pull them out and show them.
As well, Torgrim.
Enter.
And then they sidestep, opening up a path for you.
Gonna uncomfortably just walk. Because these guys are spooky.
Miki just walks past because if I remember correctly, she knows if you just act normal, not hostile, and ever do what they say, then they're not going to hurt you.
Alrighty. So, begin to make your way inside the palace. There are no guards at the gate either. Pardon me, not the gate, the door. Whereas there usually would be some stationed there at the very least. There are not any. Why can't I talk today? You open the door, and as you make your way inside, you come across a very strange sight.
What is he?
You see an up and moving Silren.
Oh.
However, there's a very, very large red, stained bandage on his chest still.
Ouch.
You see Altreus. You see those three figures, as you saw when you were leaving. And you see Toril, all standing there, conversing. And as you enter, they all look to you.
good to see you up and moving.
I'm barely, up. Kind of moving, but thank you. Do you have business here?
We came to visit Annabelle before Miki leaves. If possible, of course.
My brother came to take me home. I'm gonna be leaving tomorrow, and I wanted to make sure I could say goodbye.
They'll kind of look to the prince. Fair enough. Go on then.
Thank you.
Now kind of continues to quietly converse. If you would like to try and listen in on what they say as you're moving away, you may roll perception checks.
Alright. Perception.
8 again!
21.
Miki. You hear the elven woman say, if Steel Harbor has been turned to ash, then they're not going to be far away from us now. Altreus, you hear him mutter, did anybody get out at all? And then the Dragonborn, the blue Dragonborn says, no one got out at all. And that's the extent of what you heard.
She just continues walking, keeps her mouth shut, but, like, if Tolgrim's still holding on, if Tolgrim, like, just reach out, just grab onto Tolgrim's sleeve real tight.
You hold on to her hand. If she, she'd let him be a good comforting dwarf.
She will.
He can't be the emotional support dwarf for his future possible wife, he'll be an emotional support dwarf for the other party members.
Aww.
I dropped my computer.
Oh no.
Oh. No.
It's fine.
So, you begin to make your way to try and find where Annabelle is.
I guess they didn't tell us, and they told us to move along, so...
Yeah, you also never asked. Never asked where the holding cells were.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll investigations checks to just find.
Boy.
Miki's not the smartest.
Neither is Torgrim.
Okay.
And
Investigation.
this is not perception because this palace is literally a maze. You have to be very careful as to where you go. So investigation is what you're be requiring.
10.
So that's a 10.
4.
We both have +0 to our intelligence. This is great.
So it takes you a good few hours.
Wonderful.
You get lost quite a bit. So in Harry Potter when they're going up those moving staircases, think kind of like that.
Oh no.
However, at one point you just find somebody, locate one of the guards, and ask, and they point you in the right direction. Takes you about 20 minutes to backtrack and then get there. But you get there. In total, it took you about 2 hours and 2.5 hours, roughly.
Beautiful.
This is a big palace. So, they kind of point to a door that looks just like a normal wooden door. She's in there.
Thank you.
He just stands there and waits.
Gonna open the door.
As you open the door, you just see a wall. Just a white wall. And then, yeah, it's just you open up the door and it's just a white wall.
Miki's going to put her hands on and just go, Annabelle?
You hear nothing.
Is the guard still there?
Yeah, the guard's still standing there.
We would like to see her if possible.
Okay, go ahead and knock.
Oh, okay. Miki will knock.
As soon as you finish knocking on the wall, it begins to slide down. And it goes back into the floor, and you see Annabelle inside of a room with a bunch of stuff on the ground.
Would this be before or after thing?
This would be after thing.
Yeah, so just see her very methodically going through her alchemical supplies. Looking not the best.
Hi.
Huh? Oh, hey.
Are you alright?
Yeah, just a little worried is all.
Worried about?
She just sort of looks around. About the
Does
fact that I
too.
left the kettle on. Torgrim, why do you think I'm worried?
Well, we
Yeah.
saw the prince. He's awake.
That's good to hear.
He's up and he's bandaged. Maybe not doing too well, but he's alive.
Given what I've seen for how those people handle bandages, I bet it's not the best job. Alright, that's good to hear. Kinda surprised you guys paid a visit. What's going on?
Kurt just kind of looks at Miki like, got the floor.
I'm going home tomorrow.
Oh. I guess they need you more than we do, huh, Michelle?
Possibly. I mean, my brother did tell me that we have another baby sister now.
Oh, that's good to hear. Make sure to take care of her, alright?
I will.
I mean, depending on what race she is, she's not going to be much smaller than you for very long, so cherish it.
Like, she's looking very, very worried. Like, you can read her, you could probably read the look on her face very easily right now. She's looking like she wants to say something, but she's not saying it.
Mickey, if you're leaving, then it's best not to leave anything unresolved.
I overheard something on the way down here.
Oh.
Good news, I'm sure. Lay it on us.
When we left the room with Siren and the others,
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything.
about Steel Harbor's ashes.
Maybe that's why you know who decided to make an appearance.
You mean that really not nice person who called me an overgrown chicken?
Mm. She just kind of bites her lip at that one. There's been more than one person that's called Mickey that.
She's the way she's saying it, she's clearly referencing the most recent occurrence of that.
Yeah, maybe he was showing up to gloat in the face of people he think that like to think themselves in power. Meanwhile, he's destroying something rather important. That's like textbook megalomaniac.
I also heard them say that nobody got out.
Internally, out of game. Why the Imps? They were so good.
Hey, for all we're aware, the actual original M isn't even there. He can just make more.
Yeah, that's true. But we don't know that.
I mean, also it's night, so that's probably not the case. So he's dead.
We don't know that.
Yeah, I know night. But yeah. Well, that's not to sound like an underreaction, but that's mighty unfortunate.
Yeah. I don't know what to do. Mickey will turn and look at the guard. Are we allowed to sit in the room with her?
If you'd like. I mean, keep in mind, any and all magical items will not work. Any sort of magical power that you possess will not work. Also, if you go in there, that door is just going to close. So...
Oh.
It's fine, Mickey. Don't come in here.
I was about to say, I don't mind staying outside.
I guess if it's okay to sit in there with her, it's okay to just sit right here outside the door and talk.
He's not stopping you.
Then she'll sit.
Actually, guard,
Hmm.
did any of you just take a break a while back?
No, I've been here the whole time.
That's concerning then.
Why?
Someone entered my cell not too long ago.
You must be kind of crazy because that door has not opened since I've been here. The only time it opened was when you went inside, and then now.
For Pete's sake, there's enough magic in this. Never mind. I'm sure I'm just going crazy sitting in here by my lonesome.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Anyways.
You said someone entered your cell earlier?
Well, they didn't enter the cell. They just opened the door and talked to me, and for the first time since it actually happened, she's gonna look down at the coin that's been just in her hand this whole time.
Still cold.
Does it still look the same, though?
It still looks the exact same. It's got moon and wolf on it. And still icy cold to the touch.
Yeah, because if I remember rightly, that coin beforehand just had an engraving around its edge. It didn't have, like, an engraving on either face, right?
Correct. Just the engraving around the edge. Nikki and Torgrim, you see Annabelle coin.
didn't know you had that.
Yeah, it's a keepsake from my old school days. Mysterious Cinder sent this my way. Wasn't really sure what to make of it in the moment. Honestly, still have no idea what's going on with this thing. But what can you do? It's not important right now, though. So what you guys want to talk about?
Miki did want to say her goodbyes and just, chat before she has to leave tomorrow.
I
Honestly, I almost got torn into.
Altreus?
Managed not to.
Altreus, right?
He was not happy about his niece leaving our group.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think any of us are happy about that, but she is kin to him.
Speaking of her,
Couldn't give her.
Tolgrim,
It's kind of a.
I don't know where to send it. If I write a letter for Narcissa, will you hold on to it and give it to her if you ever see her again?
Of course.
Thank you.
He smiles. Then it's kind of like. Seems a little sad and hurt by like Narcissa leaving.
Well, I'd offer y'all some food, but my bag doesn't work in here. Tried to make comfort oats earlier and it didn't work.
Fun fact, Annabelle. Ever since you've been in here, you have not felt hungry or thirsty. At all. Nor have you felt the urge to go to the bathroom.
I mean, that urge takes a while to hit someone, especially when they haven't drank anything all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I assume something about this cell, despite the fact that it obviously cuts off magic, is also... I don't know. Feels weird. Body's a little bit in stasis, I guess. Not complaining, though, because I have been in here for a long time and I would be hungry otherwise.
Yeah. It seems like at least, no anti-magic, but also some sort of, enchantment. If
There are
that
ways
makes
to get
sense.
around. There are ways to get around anti-magic. They're not easy. Usually they involve a much higher power than what most would have, but
I mean,
who am I
we are.
kidding? This kingdom's run in the background by a coven of liches. There's some higher
And
powers going on here.
I mean, it's not
this
really
is.
background.
Yeah.
The
This
guard
is
says openly.
Well, I
This
didn't
is
know
the
about it
palace,
till they told us.
You're also
Well,
a foreigner.
I'm not that much of a... Anyways. Seemed like something my job would have covered in the job description before sending me here.
It might be like a open secret to the locals and a secret to those who aren't local.
Either way, there's some strong magics at work in this kingdom.
Well, yeah.
We are in the palace after all. Not surprised there's such powerful magics here.
Kind of
That's what
makes
makes
me
me-
wish I knew how to do some, but
It's more of a burden than you'd think it'd be.
I wouldn't know.
At least I can hit things real good.
That you can, Mickey, that you can. Not gonna lie, thinking about it. Hey, guard, if it's such a non-closed secret that there are such powerful beings in this, why does this place even have enemies?
You cut out. I could not hear you.
If I'll just sum it up without the accent so it's easier to understand. She said, if this place is not so secretive about how powerful of beings it has in it, how does it have so many enemies?
I mean, first and foremost, you think that, I mean, any sort of powerful city and or country will still have enemies. That's foolish if you thought otherwise. Secondly, one of the members of the council technically doesn't like it here. It's kind of here against his will.
I'm not sure which one that is, but honestly, a lot of them didn't seem particularly enthused about this job.
The big dragon that, burns things down.
Yeah, why don't you guys just sick him on the Legion of Gnolls who are apparently weak to fire?
Because we can't. He's not able to leave the city.
Oh, that's complicated.
Yeah. It's nice to keep a dragon around, but if they can't leave to go on missions like that, there's issues.
Well, that's understandable then. Curious, if you're able to just divulge that he can't leave the city, period, can you say why?
Certain deal he made
With
kind of
one
has
of the...
him kind of has him bound here.
High-level mages and their imprisonments. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, I guess we know if they ever try to push the front line all the way to this kingdom, they'll at least have a hard time. Honestly, Michelle, Torgrim, I don't really know what's going on at this point. Not gonna. It's no real point for me to know until I actually get the final say from Silrin as to what's gonna happen with me. I'd like to be optimistic, but I know what I did. It was a very severe breach in trust. And one I did on a whim, so it's not like he can trust that I won't do it again. Or something like it, at least.
As I told Nikki, I still feel bad on myself. You might not have known, but I was in the room. And I was supposed to be protecting you three, and I wasn't able to stop what happened.
Torgrim. Don't blame yourself.
Hard not to.
Oh, trust me, I know it's hard not to blame yourself. Look at me, I'm turning all the blame onto myself to try to help you all out. We didn't know what was going to happen. To be frank, I'm surprised that they were able to mobilize forces that were obviously already on the scene to make that attack. Just based on what Oleg said as well, it was a rather personal assault forces to boot.
You never know. We had the prince with us. quite a big target. A lot of people will move quickly in order to get something done that badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I have to say right now is that Prince should be more careful about who he lets be his friend. He lets someone like me be his friend, and I obviously did a pretty bad job at that. Oh, can't take it back now.
Yeah. You have good intentions, but the method could have been different.
I wouldn't call my intentions good, Torgrim. They were selfish. I wanted to know more. True,
Can't argue.
I can't say they were entirely selfish because I wanted to know more so I could help the prince. But I seriously need to learn when is the appropriate time and when I should just not. You know?
I know that.
So, yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna accept any verdict he gives, no matter how grim. Because to be frank, I deserve it. I'm not gonna say what I saw, but
I don't
Silren,
expect you to.
Silren doesn't deserve to have someone break his trust like that.
I'll take your word for it.
No matter what God says in the above ground. That's not in character, I was just saying that. You know what you did, Knight.
And I know what I can continue to do.
I know you know what you continue to do. Anyways. But yeah. That's how it is. Anyways, I'm still just gonna be waiting for my verdict. You guys probably shouldn't be around here when that gets drawn, though. Go out, have some fun, Michelle.
I'll try to.
Obviously, if there's anything you want to do in the city, now's the time to do it.
Yeah. I don't know when Derek's gonna be ready to go, other than just tomorrow. And she's going to look at Annabelle. I guess until we meet again, Annabelle.
I'd make a morbid joke, but I'll save it. Until we meet again, Mickey. Michelle.
Goodbye for now. She'll just kind of stand there for a minute longer, just kind of awkwardly, and then start walking away.
Yeah.
Torgrim.
Hmm?
There are some bad people in this city. Dangerous people. Be careful.
Of course. I will try my best.
Good.
Just gonna walk out after Mickey. Ow, my heart.
And that is where we will take our break.
All right,
Honey
so
Nut Helios!
we'll do a 5 to 10 as we normally do when we take a break. Everybody go get water, get snack, go use the restroom.
I'm eating some foods.
Me, myself, I just need to stretch my legs a little bit.
I might want to grab another something to drink.
Could open the stream link and actually keep an eye on chat to see if anyone asked anything.
Yeah, I have a habit of not doing that because I don't want to listen to my own voice.
Looks like chat's not really doing anything right now.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
As am I.
So how's it feel knowing that entire city turned to ash?
I'm just over here like, you're really hammering down on the negative parts of what's going on.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just thinking about the inns and the innkeeper of the Steel Harbor. I'm a good fiend.
Oh, the innkeeper wasn't there.
Oh.
Oh wait, never mind. I'm dumb.
Yeah, I remember the innkeeper left.
Oh yeah. It's been too long, I forget.
Yeah, it was that orcs. It was now the job of the orc, and now
yeah.
he's dead.
Oh!
To be fair, wasn't the innkeeper also already dead?
Nope.
No,
I
I'm
thought he already died.
Ethel? No, Ethel's not dead.
Oh.
He hasn't died.
Yeah, Ethel was the innkeeper of at Steel Harbor.
Yeah.
Wasn't he? Yeah.
I thought he got taken off to do something else and died while doing that.
No, he left to do something. He hasn't died. Also, 1 second.
I love the fact that these robots are just labeled Grom.
Yeah.
Also, quick question: just for the sake of retrospect, were the guards that were leading Annabelle like these robotic guards, or were they just guards that weren't wearing the castle colors?
They weren't wearing the castle colors. They were wearing different colors.
Hmm.
What colors were they wearing, just so I can know?
Black and red. The one posted outside of your door was also black and red.
It can probably just be assumed that they're just like the under guard who don't have to be super presentory.
Maybe.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
back.
So, how does it feel knowing an entire city you gone?
I did that. You're copying me.
I had this planned out before I knew you took out a city.
Great minds think alike. We destroy cities together.
Yep. No survivors.
No, especially not for me. Everyone just got pyroclasted onto the floor.
There are certain things happened. You can go, potentially speaking, you could go over there and look.
Oh, I'm sure we will. We're gonna just see the crater that is Steel Harbor. Unless it's like just a burnt husk of a ghost town, which would potentially be more terrifying.
I'll say this. You know how Chernobyl was?
Chernobyl didn't like turn to a crater, did it? It just abandoned.
Chernobyl's not a... Chernobyl... Here.
Chernobyl was the power plant. The city was Pripyat.
Pripyat, whatever you call it.
Well, Pripyat is abandoned, but it is in high disrepair because it's been abandoned for so long.
Got radioactive plants growing all over it.
Okay, so essentially leveled almost to nothingness. You can see where people were.
Yeah, so more like a nuclear detonation than just a burning.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh,
Yay, Fallout!
Yeah. Hey, Danny.
that's more Hiroshima and Nagasaki than Pripyat.
Yeah,
Yeah, Chernobyl didn't
Yeah,
really explode, it just melted down.
yeah. But hey, Danny, guess what you missed when you were going
Uh-huh.
to the city?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, though,
Well, at least I got some important information from an NPC before they died.
anyway, are we ready to hop back into it?
Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello?
So, are we back up and everything?
Yeah.
I can't hear any of you.
Well, we can hear you.
Oh boy. So I can't hear what you're saying, but I can see the thing lighting up. So
Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just night.
Yeah, I mean, Knight did say he was having internet issues.
Okay, hello?
Yes.
Hello.
Okay, so apparently you can hear
Hello?
me either.
No, we
No,
can
we
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Oh, you could hear me? Oh,
You
I
just
can
couldn't
hear
hear
you.
us.
Oh boy. That's fun.
Well, it seems to be sorted now, so we're all right.
Alrighty, so are we ready to continue?
Yep.
So, Miki and Torgrim, it is still the same day. Later on during the day, though, I'll say that it's probably hitting 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the evening. So, what would you like to do? Hello?
Sorry.
Thinking.
Oh, I thought my computer was being wonky again.
No.
I'm just trying to think.
Miki would just be wanting to try to find a quiet place to sit and write in her journal, not the special one, just her normal journal. For a little bit.
Honestly, at this point, Torgrim will just probably want to go do some work for his guild. It's good to help get stress off for him.
So, Torgrim, you were wanting to go work for your guild, and Miki, you were wanting to just do some shopping. You kind of cut out.
She just wants to find a quiet place to write in her journal. The normal
Okay.
one, not the special one.
Okay, gotcha. Alright, yeah, cut out again. Yay, internet.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
Hooray, the internet is like, hey, fuck you.
Pretty much. That's my life. Anywho, so, are you wanting to head back to the inn to do so, or?
She'd actually like to find some place outside that she could sit in some
Outside?
quiet to write. Yes.
Roll a perception check just to see if you can locate a place that would suit your needs.
Okay. Perception. 13.
Okay. You find. Okay. You find a small botanical garden that you're able to walk through, and you do find a nice bench to be able to sit down. Right in your journal.
Okay. She would pretty well just sit there and write until it would be about the time to go back to the inn to have one last night there.
Alrighty. And then Torgrim, you were wanting to do some work for your guild.
Yeah.
Anything in particular you were looking to do?
Probably making just armor and weapons. Since, you know, they do have the whole thing going on with being attacked. Probably need to make some.
You do get notified that if you wanted to help out, you could earn a little bit of coin by helping smith some silvered weapons.
Alright. He doesn't really mind the coin. He's got plenty. Just wants to help. Get,
Alrighty.
you know, relieve stress. Kind of distract himself.
Let's see. I will have you then roll me 3 checks with your smithing tool. The first 2 at disadvantage.
Oh, wonderful.
Because you have a lot on your mind right now, and that's
do.
sometimes
I do.
not good when you're making weapons.
Yeah.
Kind
I
of
was
hampers your
hoping
ability.
it'd be able to, like, push it all back so you could just focus on something. Kill time.
Pending how well? Okay, disadvantage.
16.
Okay.
4. 15.
Okay, so I was going to say that depending how the first roll went, you would be able to shake it off. In which case, you did. You passed the DC for it. So,
Oh, thank God.
so that 4 is not a thing, but that 15 is. It starts out all right. You're just kind of finding your groove back, hammering at the middle, and after a little while, the weapons you are making start to improve a little bit, and they kind of pick up pace and being produced. However, toward the back end, you're getting a little tired. You're a little worn down from just everything. So it's good. It's passable. It's not nothing amazing, but it's just like these work.
Yeah. It could
They
also just
function.
be... It can be improved later or by another
Yeah.
person.
This is just like the standard
Yeah.
that you're doing. So yeah. You get 300 gold total
Oh,
for everything.
nice.
So around this time, it is close to dusk. It is close to essentially bedtime. And then, Miki, you said you were going to head back to prepare for a night's sleep. Last one in the tavern, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. As you make your way to your room, you open the door. As soon as you make your way inside and close the door, well, hello, little bird.
She just kind of freezes.
You hear footsteps behind you. Roll a wisdom saving throw, please.
Wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
That's an 11.
Alright, you feel a very cold sensation run down your spine. You kind of start to shake just a little bit. Tell me, little bird, do you still have my ticket?
She just nods her head.
May I have it, please?
Mm. She just nods again and takes it out of her bag and hands it to him.
As soon as you begin to extend it to hand it to him, it begins to float away from you, and then into his hand, then vanishes. Thank you, Michelle. I do hope your journey back tomorrow is safe and fruitful. I'm sure it will be. The man before you is wearing a familiar set of maroon robes. His face is obscured, and his gauntlets look eerily familiar.
Like Atreus's.
Very much so, yes.
I don't know what I was meant to do with that, but...
The figure kind of kneels beside you.
I'm sorry, what?
He looks at you and he kneels down in front of you, so he's about eye level with you. You still can't see his face. And he says, "You did everything you were supposed to." Don't worry, little one. The part you played in this story is over. For now. Maybe one day you'll come back and write a new chapter. But for now, this is where yours ends. It might be a little bit longer than you'd like, but I can say for certainty the circumstances will be better.
I could have done better.
You did as well as you could, and there's no one faulting you for that. It'll be alright. You'll be home soon. You'll see your little sister. Well, both of them. They're in good hands. The figure stands up. Sleep well, little one. And begins to turn around and make his way toward the door. He opens the door. He steps out, closing it behind him. And you are left alone in your room.
She just kind of stands there, thinking for a bit. Then she'd go write the letter that she had mentioned earlier, have that tucked into her normal journal, and then lay down and go to sleep, or try to at least.
Alrighty. Your dreams that night are of home. You dream about arriving back at the monastery, seeing your friends that are still there, speaking with your past teachers and possible new teachers, and you drift off to sleep. Torgrim.
Hmm?
You have now finished your work at your guild. Are you going to head back to the tavern?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Get something to eat before going to bed.
Alright. I totally forgot to write a food description down, so.
It's okay. He eats, okay? He doesn't consume.
He eats large quantities of ham, biscuits, and other foods.
Yes.
Right.
Ham
So.
biscuit.
Goddamn. So, you make your way up to your room, head inside, and you see something. Sitting on your bed.
Mm-hmm.
Something small wrapped in cloth.
Well, I guess I'm gonna see what's wrapped in the cloth, even though I have an idea.
You go over and you unwrap it, and it's a very familiar toy sword.
Oh. Mm. Don't like this. Why is this here?
Your little brother wanted me to give that to you. And so I did.
Is that in my head?
Nope. It's not in your
Is
head.
it behind?
It's behind you.
I'm. Torgrim's gonna turn and see who's behind him. Who the hell?
It's that same figure who you saw earlier. However, he's now sitting down in the chair right behind the door. And he's looking at you. Hello again.
Torgrim just doesn't say anything. Looks back to the toy sword. Yeah, he's not really happy to see this guy. Can't really do anything about it, though.
The figure stands and starts walking toward you. He stands above you. How many stones?
4.
Last time I spoke with you, it was still 4. You seem to be slacking. Yeah?
I haven't really had the time to learn anything new.
He kind of leans closer to you. Kind of points out the window. And in the direction he's pointing, he's pointing toward the city gate to a familiar road. The one you came on to get here. Do you know what's out there? Do you know what happens if I follow that road?
Nods slowly. Uncomfortable.
He kind of leans back up. Tell me, young man. Your father, the craftsman that he is, he's not, how shall I say, as precise with a hammer anymore. I'm sure you recall.
I do. What about it?
I could help him with that. I can ensure that while your family is on the more so well-off side of things, I can ensure that they stay that way. Your father's business has been lacking as of late, not as many customers coming by. Very few commission pieces. I can help with that, if you'd like. I can wipe away that which ails him. I can make sure your little brother doesn't have to worry about whether or not he's going to be able to eat. I can make sure your mother doesn't have to go on any more dangerous hunts in the woods and wilderness near your homeland.
At this point, he's starting to tear up. You're hitting him. You're hitting him. Ow! In the his emotions.
Ow, right in the feels.
Right in the honey nut feelios. And how would you be able to do that?
He kind of holds out his right hand, and in it you see in the center of his palm on the gauntlet, you see a very small red hole begin to open up. You see a piece of paper come out of it, a scroll, and he kind of holds it in his hand.
What is that?
This is a contract, somewhat like the one you've signed for the dragon, but different at the same time. My end of this contract states that I will ensure that your family does not lose business, in fact, that it thrives, as well as wiping away that which ails your father, making sure that they are taken care of. And all I would ask of you is a favor. Now, it might be a big favor, it might be a small favor, but when it comes, I would ask that you fulfill it. Otherwise, I can't keep my end of the bargain.
You've already got me doing an awful lot for you.
What's one more little thing to ensure your family's financial stability?
You even said it yourself. Don't know if it's a big favor or a little one. But at this point, if I probably don't say yes, you can just wipe me off the face of this earth like nothing happened.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I still need you for the initial portion.
You could if you wanted to. So
If I
what's the
wanted
point of
to.
saying no at this point?
Well, you don't have to. It's all up to you.
Kind of takes a deep sigh thinking about it.
You don't have to sign it yet.
You know how to make good bargains, that's for sure.
I've been doing this for a long time. Longer than you would think. You don't have to sign it now, but when you do, I'll know. And if you choose not to, well, all you have to do is take that scroll and throw it. That's it. Then it vanishes. Deal won't be struck. You don't have to worry about it. However, if you do sign it, it stays with you until it's complete. Keep that in mind.
Silently nods.
He's gonna stand up straight, kind of stretch ever so slightly. Well, I must be off. I have a few more things to check on. And he turns and begins to head toward the door. He opens the door. Oh, and one more thing. He kind of turns back to you. You don't sign that with ink. I need something a little more stronger than that.
You want me to sign it in blood, hmm?
Have a good night. And he walks out the door and closes it.
This bastard.
Then he
For right
proceeds-
now, though, Torgrim's tired. He's gonna look over this contract in the morning.
So, you both head to sleep. But while this was going on, Annabelle.
Yep.
What are you currently doing?
Being in prison.
Well, yes, but what are you doing whilst in prison?
Well, she managed to figure out how to make that extract, but her mind's been a bit distracted.
I wonder why.
Yeah, good point. Here's a question.
Here's the possible answer.
With my class in particular, being an artificer, having the magical item analysis ability, is that technically casting magic, or is as much as that is actually just being able to study and identify a magical item?
Let me take a look at the wording of it. Is it under what? Oh, no.
Yeah, it says that I, for the sake of expediency, it says that I detect magic and identify, but I can only cast them as ritual. And I don't need material components.
I would say you can try and appraise them without casting either of those, though you're only going to be able to get so much. And I would actually have to actually ask you to roll for it.
Of
For
course.
Arcana
It was,
specifically.
yeah, it's more like, can she try to identify, like, with her just innate arcane knowledge?
Oh yeah, you
If
can definitely do
this-
that.
But yeah, but if this coin now has some sort of new effect to it,
I will roll Arcana with disadvantage.
disadvantage, my bane. That's an 8.
Well, it would have been 8 either way. You're not 100% sure as of right now, because correct me if I'm wrong, but you casted those. Have you casted those spells on the coin before? Haven't you?
I mean, it's assumed that I have. I've
I was
never
gonna
done it
say.
in game, but it's assumed that she probably has tried to identify it in the past.
Okay. Um, it just looks like that that the engravings of the moon and the wolf's mouth with fire. It just looks like those were magically engraved on there. Nothing else. The coin has not changed like size or shape or anything other than that. So as of right now, it just looks like there was some sort of magical engraving that was done to them.
And secondly, after she's tried to figure out if it has any sort of magic to it, does the symbolism on it look familiar at all, or is it just obviously what it is what it is? And then I have one third thing that I'm going to be doing after that.
Oh God, what would this be considered? Oof. Oof.
Would it just be a general intelligence check to see if she can make a connection?
Are you proficient in religion?
Let me check. The answer is, where's the religion skill? No, I'm not.
I would say no. You probably wouldn't be able to check.
I do still have a +4 in it, though.
For this, I would specifically say if you're proficient in it.
Gotcha.
Because even though you have the +4, it's just some person who knows stuff about religion is probably not going to know specifics.
Fair
Because
enough.
if you're trying to identify these specific symbols on there, or see if they have some sort of religious meaning to it,
Gotcha.
probably not. Yeah.
So with the token, she's thinking that it might, because you're saying that the token now that she's thinking it could be something religious. She's remembering back to that. That's a noise. She
Sorry.
is suddenly remembering back to that goddess of werewolves that they know about now. And the last thing she wants to do is she's going to take out the Howler. And if I remember rightly, this coin has a very specific hole through the middle of it. She's gonna see if the Howler will conform and fit into that hole.
Nothing happens. It. I would say you probably wouldn't even need to roll for this. Given that the Howler is a magical item and you are in a room that does not allow for magical items to essentially work inside of it, whatever would happen, or at least whatever you think would happen, is currently not activating or happening as of right now because of the room you were currently inside of. So essentially, think of where cell phones have like no signal
Yeah,
in a dead.
I get it.
Dead. Pretty much that.
Huh. Well, if I survive, I guess I know what I'm doing when I get out of here. I need to ask Torgrim something. What? It's still weird to her that people have to knock on that thing to make it open. So she just looks at the door, putting the stuff back away.
You see the prince.
She just turns her head down.
No bandages, no nothing. So, why did you think drugging me was a good idea?
I honestly have no justification that makes it worthwhile.
Fair enough.
It was an act of impulse.
That's fairly dangerous. I would not recommend it.
I've done a lot of fairly dangerous things that most would not recommend, Stilrin.
He kind of puts his thumb and his middle finger on the bridge of his nose. You realize now that there are repercussions for this.
Stilrin, I'm perfectly ready to accept the death penalty for what I have done.
Oh, you're not getting the death penalty.
Life enslavement still counts as a death penalty.
That is not... What? No. Why would you... No.
Stilrin, I've been around wealthy folk my whole life. I know how that goes a lot.
The fuck kind of families have you been around?
Aristocratic families. Not a lot of love shared around. A lot of coin shared around. Yeah, it's best not to think about it too much. Sorry, I didn't mean to get you off track.
You have a fine. Also, your guild has been made aware of what you did. Because you use... Technically speaking, you use... Here's where it gets finicky with them. After being notified, they claim that you possibly used your alchemical knowledge to... Shall we say... approximate the proper amount of what you needed instead of just going full in. They're not too happy. They think you might have used your time there to do that. Prepare for that.
I will say I literally gave you an over-the-counter sleep medicine. Something literally anyone could buy at any apothecary. I have... Well, I don't have transaction records, but you could certainly go to the store I bought them from.
I'll have to send someone to look into it.
But I understand the justifications of what they're trying to imply. To be honest, I'm surprised I haven't seen more serious repercussions from the fact.
You will have a court appearance, but currently those are the charges levied against, or not the charges. Those are currently the consequences that are levied against you as of right now.
Well, that's well and good, but what do you think, Soren?
Part of me wants to remove you from the contract. Another part says I need to keep you around because I'm running low on bodyguards as they keep dying. Maybe you'll get a chance at redemption, maybe you won't. I don't know. I don't have that answer.
Honestly, I'll do whatever you think is best, Soren. If you want me to leave, I'll leave, and if you need me to stay, I'll stay. Drugging you, obviously not my best decision ever. I've honestly made a few pretty bad decisions that may not actually even be the worst decision I've ever made. Actually, I can say for certainty that it's not the worst decision I've ever made, but that's neither here nor there. All I can say is that I didn't know what was going to happen. And I didn't know what Tacitus was going to offer me. That was not a risk I could have calculated for.
At the mention of that, he kind of stiffens up a bit. That's another thing. I was informed what happened. I was informed what you saw.
Yep.
Do you understand why I have been pushing myself?
I do. Though I still think that at points you are going too far. Because you are hurting yourself. And that's not going to make you stronger. Anyone with basic medical knowledge knows that you need rest to grow stronger. You need to recover. And I haven't seen a whole lot of recovery in what's been happening. And I can say for certain, Silrin, because unlike a lot of folks that are currently employed by you, I have a bit more insight now. And I did not see a whole lot of time to recover. That's why I was worried enough to accept what Tacitus offered me. That's why
But I
I'm so
mean-
willing. Sorry.
Nope, go ahead.
It's also why I'm so understanding and willing to take the full blame for what happened. Because it was entirely selfish on my part. Because I wanted to know why you're just practically killing yourself over and over to figure this out.
In the end, it's not your call to make.
It isn't. But I've made an unfortunate bad habit of getting involved with things a bit beyond me. I've done that my whole life.
I'd like you to roll an insight check, please.
Hopefully this roll goes well. That's a 20, but not natural.
Both 20s, though.
Yes, dual 20.
Ah, yes, the dirty 20s.
Dirty, dirty 20s.
All right, then. You can see that some of the words you're saying are hitting their mark. However, the decision, you can tell that this decision that he has made a while ago. And that you're also not the first person to say these things.
I don't think I can change what you've decided to do for yourself, Silverin. I'm not a person with enough authority or even in good enough standing with you, for obvious reasons, to make any dent in your personal decision. I just want you to know that I want to understand. And I do want to help. I might just dig too deep sometimes. As I told Tacitus, basically, one of my last words to him, I'm a nosy bitch by nature.
He kind of steps back out of the doorway and gestures for you to go.
She just picks her bag up, steps out of the doorway if she is allowed to.
Yep. As you step out the door, closes back up. You'll have to meet with Paul tomorrow. You're getting a new person with you on your contract currently.
Well, that complicates things. But at least it's more people for the cause.
Losing 2, gaining 1. Your friend Oleg is also leaving for a bit.
I'm guessing you're having to send him on another private mission?
Training.
Well,
His old master has come by, said he wants to speak with him, and Tor granted that bit of leave.
Fair enough.
So,
Siren.
Hmm.
I'm in no position to make requests, but if I could just make one,
depends.
can I train with you?
Train with what?
If I'm going to continue to protect you, try to help protect you, I, one, need to actually know what you're capable of, and two, I'll be honest, Silrin, you saw in that spar, I get by in a fight with cheap alchemical tricks. Half the time they don't even work. And they're useful if I have time to get ready. But I actually need to learn how to fight. And I've seen you fight when you were younger. And I'd like to learn how to fight like that too. Plus, honestly, with the beating I saw being taken by everyone involved, seems like at least some part of a way to start making penance.
You know what the training circle is.
Of course.
Tomorrow at noon.
Of course.
Then he turns and begins to walk down the hall. He kind of leans his head over his shoulder and bring healing potions. You'll need them. And keeps walking.
I might be a little bit late and gonna gather some supplies so I can make a lot more.
Keeps walking.
And she's going to turn and start heading the way she was dragged initially, because that's the only way she actually knows how to get out of this place. Is she out of the anti-magic field now, by the way?
Correct.
She's gonna try that thing again.
What thing?
She's gonna try to put the howler into the coin.
The howler won't fit into the coin. The coin is a lot smaller. It's about the size of a quarter. The howler is larger.
Well, honestly, in retrospect, I don't actually know how big the howler is.
Oh, so in terms of the howler, it's roughly the size of a tennis ball.
Oh, it's big.
It's big. Yeah, I was like, you're doing what now?
Well, because it fell out of the pommel of a sword, I thought it was really small.
Oh no.
I thought it was like a little gym size thing. Okay, if I had known that, wouldn't have tried it. Alright. Yeah, she's just gonna head out.
Yeah, no. The coin is the size of. It's the size of a quarter. So I mean.
Yeah, I knew how big the coin was, I just didn't know how big the howler was. Okay. Yep. She's gonna head out and head back to the tavern.
Alrighty.
Idly curious how big that fine is and how long it'll take her to pay it off.
Alright, you make your way back to the tavern. It's fairly late in the evening by this point.
Yeah.
So, you make your way up the stairs, and you make your way to the room you Actually, no. They gave you a different room. That's right, because, destroyed.
Yeah, my room exploded.
Yeah, that's right. It's been a while. The the tavern owner gives you a different key to another room you have, and
Uh,
says, "Please don't destroy this one."
To be fair, I did not destroy the last one. By the way, how much is that going to cost?
It's been paid for.
All right, well, how much is that going to cost?
It's been paid for. What part of it's been paid for do you not understand?
Is it with these people? All right, never mind.
Listen, I don't know who paid for it. I just came by and saw that there was a large bag of gold that said for room A2, and I was like, you know what? Fine.
All right. All right. Annabelle internally monologuing about the fact she's not used to people not wanting money for things. She's so used to everyone being like, give me money and this will all be forgiven. Yeah, she's just gonna head up to bed, have herself a meal of comfort oats.
Comfort notes.
They're the worst thing ever, but she's so used to it that it's comforting.
Alrighty, so get to your bed. Begin to drift off into sleep. Roll a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, goodness. I don't have proficiency in these. That's a double 11.
Okay. Okay.
Shit.
Right.
Now would
You have
be
a
a
night
free.
of you have a nice night of restful sleep.
Whose pet have I eaten when I wake up?
And it is now morning. The sun is shining, and you all wake up. What do you do?
The Howler has regained its charge now. Oh. That's something we'll have to talk about later.
Yes, indeed.
Because that thing did its thing.
So, dawn has arrived.
Gotta go down to the common room. Get some brekkie.
Annabelle is making her way down to the common room. What about the rest? What about you two?
Torgrim's gonna take the time to read that contract before going down and doing anything else.
This contract states that upon the signing of this magical contract, give me 1 second. I have to pull it up real quick. Sorry, I had this pre-written out. I want to make sure I actually read it out properly. This contract states that upon the signing by both parties, that the family of Torgrim Ironstorm will be taken care of in terms of all financial matters. His father's ailments will be washed away, and his mother will never have to go foraging and hunting for food again. In return for this, Torgrim Ironstorm agrees that he will provide one favor, no matter how big or small, in any sort of scaling, uh, upon being requested, and it will be performed to the letter, or else this contract is then voided.
Alright. Now that he's read over it, he's gonna kind of roll it up, keep it in his backpack. He's gonna have to think about that for a little bit before deciding to throw it or sign it.
Alrighty.
And then after that, he's gonna clean himself up a little, braid his hair and his beard, take care of himself before going down and getting food too.
So, Miki, what do you do?
When she wakes up, she would just make sure she's got all her things together, pull the letter she wrote out of her journal to have it ready to hand to Tilgrim, and then grab her stuff and head down to the common area.
So, you all make your way down to the common area. You arrive within, like, roughly 5 to 10 minutes of each other.
Hi, guys.
Annabelle! Mickey just runs over and is to hug her.
Oh, they let you out? Let's see.
Not without some lengthy charges, I might say, but frankly a lot lighter than I was expecting to get off. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the full extent of exactly what I'm being charged with yet, but they didn't kill me, so just puts two thumbs up, just like, hey.
Well, you knew repercussions are gonna be a thing. But it's good you're not dying.
Yeah. Also, we're getting someone new.
We are?
Yeah. Silren told me.
Well, it makes sense. I'm gonna be leaving. I haven't seen Oleg, so he's probably off doing something on his own again.
Where did the elvish bastard go?
Apparently he's training with his old master.
That counts as going off to do something without us.
Well, to be fair, it's probably best that we all sharpen up our skills a little bit.
Yeah.
Aye. So we're down to
3.
wonder. Yeah, you're right.
We'll make do.
Yeah, we gotta.
Oh, I did make one fortunate discovery while I was locked up.
What's that?
She's going to reach into her side satchel for her alchemist thing and pull out. What color is this concentrate, by the way?
Say again?
Just like white. The yellow toadstool concentrate, is it actually like yellow or is it like clear or white?
It's a very pale yellow. Think like lemonade color.
Okay. Yeah, so she pulls out this pale yellow vial. If we happen to encounter any more of that type of particularly aggressive toxins, I'm hoping that this might help us fight it back a little bit. This is a very concentrated form of what the yellow toadstools do, how they remove poisons. this is hopefully enough to... I don't know. To be honest with what I saw with that, what I saw those bullets doing, I don't know if those are even of this world identifiable. But I'm hoping this could at least help us if it happens again.
At least you were being productive with your time while you were being held.
Michelle, there is not a moment I'm not at least trying to be productive with my time.
That's fair.
I mean, except when I'm drunk and eating some person's pet fairy dragon, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, to be fair, that was actually still productive because what I got from that was very useful.
I guess that's one way to look at it.
She just pats Miki on the head. To be fair, Miki, that's kind of how I have to look at a lot of things in my life. I screw up a lot of things.
Fair. Oh. Here's that letter I asked you to hold on for if you see Narcissa again, Tolgrim.
Ah. Took the time to write it, I see.
I wasn't ready to go to bed immediately when I got back to my room last night, so I figured I'd be productive with my time.
It's understandable. I think we're all just a little productive of kill time.
Yeah.
Audible actually gives Torgrim a bit of a weird look.
Why?
There's some... I mean, it wouldn't be too hard to tell. There's something she wants to ask him about. But it seems like she's waiting for a good moment to do so.
Okay. Yeah, gotta take note of that look. Not really say anything.
I guess after we're done here, I should go meet up with my brother.
You should. But for now, let's enjoy the moment. One final meal together?
Yeah, let's do that.
You know I don't have food descriptions prepared. How dare you?
This is
I have-
just they have brekkie.
They have big brekkie.
I mean, I can do something that can make our final meal together real interesting since there's only 3 of us. Actually, on second thought, that's a really bad idea. I'm not going to do that.
Oh no, please do. I want to see Miki try and ride a horse while horribly gone.
Give Miki one last very nice story to write home about.
If she can remember it.
Miki, can I offer you an experience?
With a good time?
What? It depends on what it is.
I have no idea other than it would be crazy.
Alright, well, before... should really break down what it might be.
Tolgrim, I'm scared.
You can
If
say
you
no.
won't-
You can say no.
I was about to say, Miki, if you don't want to do it, I'm down for a good time.
Then I'll pass.
Torgrim, you're going to be my control group because I actually do need to see what this does to someone.
Alright. Can I eat
Also,
breakfast?
you're a dwarf, so you probably have better constitution than most.
Yeah. Alright, so what's gonna happen?
For breakfast, she's just going to sprinkle some sparkly powder on Torgrim's food.
Remind me what that powder is again.
Pixie dust.
Oh.
This thing I've had for a while, but have no idea what it does.
Yeah, okay. Torgrim, do you eat it?
Yeah.
Alright, concept, please.
14.
Annabelle, do you want me to help take notes?
Actually, yeah, if you want to, says as she takes out a notepad.
Great.
Okay, that's not
Okay.
enough. That's not enough. Give me 1 second.
Torgrim, if you, as articulately as possible, please describe what you see.
Okay, give you...
Time to
Give-
trip.
So,
Can I actually have the DC for this so I can add it to my notes?
DC is 16.
Oh no, we're gonna have a
So Torgrim
good
failed.
time.
Thank you.
I need to make... Because I was not prepared for this thing, I need...
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
You could have told me not to do this. I'm sorry.
Nope, I'm not gonna do that.
But to be fair, you also could have told me not to drug the prince.
I'm not
And-
gonna do that either.
That ended up being interesting.
Yeah, and that was fun for me. Because I got to do some very terrifying things.
Yeah. I don't like the fact the ominous music started playing.
Alright, Targrim.
Okay, what's up?
Let's see here.
Annabelle
That is very
internally,
ominous music.
Annabelle internally making a note of maybe I should stop putting stuff in people's food.
You know, that might be a good idea.
Well, at least he consented to this one.
Yeah, you know, that might be a good idea to get that too.
Don't threaten Torgrim with a good time.
Alright, I gotta make some rolls here. Oh boy.
Oh no. This is great!
I have hallucinogens in my bag. I have to use them eventually.
Look, Torgrim knows how to party hard. He might have
Alright.
never used
Torgrim.
drugs before, he might have mostly drank, but...
Torgrim,
Yeah,
I need you to make 2 Constitution saving throws and a Wisdom saving throw.
okay. 13, 23, 21.
Okay, so... Mickey and Annabelle. A few moments after Torgrim finishes eating the pixie dust, you see his eyes go from... His pupils go from pennies to $50. His mouth just drops open and he just kind of slumps forward.
Alright.
His
Gonna look
eyes are
just-
his eyes are currently changing color
Alright.
from red to blue to green to yellow to purple to black to red to blue, so on and so forth. It's just continuously shifting.
Causes strange chromatic shift in eyes upon consumption, seemingly...
His skin is going from that very light color to yellow with blue polka dots.
Alright.
That looks like wild magic.
And his hair looks like it's growing faster and faster. In the brief few moments that he's been like this, his hair has grown 4 inches. All of his hair. Torgrim.
Right.
Right now, after you've eaten the food, you go in to take another bite, and your arm feels like it's paper. So as soon as you pick some of the food up, it just flings to the other side, making you drop said food.
Oh no.
You can taste sound and you can hear colors.
I'm writing all this down, so please be a little slow.
Then your vision goes dark.
Can taste what? And
You
hear
come-
colors?
You can taste sound.
Beautiful.
Then your vision fades. start feeling like you're somewhere else. You're in a tunnel. It's a very large tunnel. You don't know where this is. However, you hear footsteps. Ooh.
I don't know if you were talking after saying I heard footsteps. 'Cause I just
The
heard.
footsteps are approaching. They're getting closer. What do you do?
I'm gonna. Are they behind me? Are they like coming from behind me or from in
You
front
don't
of
know.
me?
You don't know.
I-
You hear them. You can't tell where they're coming from because of the echo. But you can tell.
Oh, I'm gonna glance ahead of my. I'm in a tunnel, so I'm gonna glance ahead of myself and then look behind myself.
Darkness. Even though you can usually see in the dark, you can't see through this.
Oh, I don't like that. Gonna start running forward. Don't like that. I don't like that. Nope, 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 nope.
You feel something
Goosebumps.
crawling up the side of your neck.
Oh.
It feels very cold. And it feels like it's slightly pointed. Begins to hold and wrap around your neck. And then another thing, almost like a bar, begins to wrap around one of your sides. And then another. And it feels like you're being hugged.
Does it sound familiar?
Nope.
Oh, I don't like it. I want it off. Can I try to pry it off me? Whatever it is. I don't like it. Nope.
And actually make an athletics check with disadvantage.
Okay. A nat 1.
Well, you really wouldn't have needed the disadvantage anyways.
I know!
You feel like you're moving, and then you begin to notice there's a light in the direction you're looking. Oh, now there are two lights.
Oh.
Very faint yellow lights. Oh, wait, those are eyes. There is something that is pulling you closer towards it. It's bringing you
Like this.
closer and closer and closer until
Oh.
you are being brought into its chest. This
Oh, no.
gray humanoid is
Oh, no.
pulling you in.
Struggle. Wiggle.
It's not
Torgrim,
working.
you struggle! It's
It's-
not very effective!
And then you feel something else.
What am I feeling?
You're feeling teeth around the side of your head.
I don't like that.
As it unhinges its jaw. And begins to try and consume your face.
Can I, try to punch it?
Nope.
I don't
Nope.
like this!
You failed your athletics check, and you
You're
are currently
right, I
grappled.
Ah! I can't
While-
do anything!
While this is happening, Annabelle and Miki, it's been like 3 minutes. It's only been like 3 minutes since you gave this to Torgrim, and he's still just kind of sitting there.
Well, alright. He hasn't reacted long enough. I'm giving him an antidote.
Yeah, I was about to say, maybe you should wake him up.
Yep. He's probably gonna punch me. I feel like he's gonna punch me.
Do you want me
As
to
I-
try to hold his arms back?
No, just be ready to restrain him so if he punches me, he can't get away.
Okay.
I'm going to administer the vial of concentrated yellow toadstool elixir.
Alright. As you do so, Torgrim,
The mouth is still like it's probably about your head is inside of its mouth down to like the bottom of your nose, and it's still pulling you closer into it, and you just hear
Don't like it. No, ew.
and then
Disgusting. Gross.
you're back in the tavern.
I'm freaking out. Oh my god. I'm shaking. I probably do try to punch someone or something.
Roll an unarmed attack.
What's an unarmed attack again?
It would
Just,
be
strength?
strength plus a d20.
Okay, so just
You
a
just make a
strength
strength check.
roll.
Yeah, just make a
Okay.
strength check essentially.
13.
Does that hit you, Annabelle?
Just catch his fist, just like Torgrim.
He's kind of sweating, pale, and very shaken.
I take it was not enjoyable.
Never again.
Good to know. Use as an interrogation tactic if we need it. What did you see?
He's trying to like process everything that happened.
Does he
I-
still have the polka dots and stuff, or did that go away as soon as the?
That went away. That
Okay.
went away as soon as he got the toe steel.
Okay.
Yeah. The concentrate. I can't talk.
Well, when I was eating, my arm kind of just felt weak and fragile, and everything went dark.
I wonder if that would be how it is every time, or if that's just how it particularly affected you this time.
I wouldn't know. But
point.
it felt like I got transported into a tunnel of sorts, and I heard footsteps approaching me. I couldn't tell if it was from in front or behind me. There was quite the echo, and it was scary because despite being able to naturally see in the dark, I couldn't see a damn thing.
Well, that's got to be some magical darkness then. Either that or you were straight up hallucinating.
There was some kind of groaning. It was not pleasant to listen to. And
Alright.
before I knew it, there was something wrapping around my neck, and then my sides, and the groaning got louder. I tried to get out of the grass, but I could not. And before I knew it, I saw two yellow eyes in front of me, and I was being absorbed into its chest, and my face was being, well, not even just my face, my entire fucking head was being eaten by this thing. It was about halfway down my fucking face before I woke up.
Well, I'm glad I woke you up when I did.
Yeah, I'm glad too.
Honestly, I can't imagine being bored as a particularly entertaining or fun experience. I don't know. Well, that was a good thing to learn about.
Never again.
I will not use it on you again. But if we have someone we particularly want to terrify, mayhaps we can use it on them. Because if you didn't break out of it, then it's going to be pretty hard for someone else to break out of it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad you didn't try it, Mickey.
I didn't try it either.
Yeah, that's fair.
But here's the notes I wrote down.
Thank you. Also good to see that my new concentrate actually works wonders.
Well, it worked against whatever it was that Togrim had, so, if would be using it for what you said, you could bring the person out of it with that.
Yeah, what did you put in my fucking food?
I told you before that it's pixie dust. You know, like those annoying little fey creatures that really screw with your mind?
Yeah, I can see why it fucked with mine.
Yeah, it's their wings that have been ground up. Don't ask where I got them.
Concerning, but okay.
I think that's generally everything I do at this point. I really need to reevaluate my life. This week's episode, Annabelle has an existential crisis.
This week's episode, Annabelle hasn't learned to stop putting weird shit into people's food.
She
Pretty
at
much.
least asked this time.
Yeah!
Welcome to the story arc.
Annabelle hasn't learned her lesson.
No, she learned her lesson. She asked, and now in the future she won't, unless they're bad. In which case she will, and she won't ask.
This is fair.
Because no, she hasn't learned her lesson. Because to her, this is the lesson, and there's a lot more to learn.
Yeah. Are you feeling okay now, Torgum?
Now that I'm not being eaten, yes. How am I feeling, actually?
You're feeling fine because that extract did some wonders.
Alright, good. Never again. Torgrim now knows. No hallucinogenics. Never, ever again.
Honestly, at this point, I think the biggest lesson to take away from this is that extract works really well.
Yeah, I feel pretty fine.
I'm gonna have to make more of that, but not yet because I have to go get my face beat in.
What?
It's not important.
I guess. Well, I need to go meet up with my brother.
Oh, yeah.
For a while.
Huh?
I've actually kind of just been here for a while. Oh,
I love
sorry,
the
Mickey.
I love the concept of Vicky just going, huh?
Well, that was me as a player, like, basically being like, I didn't hear what was said.
I know, but it's still funny to me. Just that Mickey was just like, what?
Hey, little sis.
Hey. Well, I can probably introduce you to at least one of my other friends now. Before we have to go. This is Annabelle.
Oh. Hello.
Hello.
Why were you in prison?
A lot of reasons, and all of them justified.
That's slightly concerning.
It should be.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest, I fucked up a little bit, and that's about all I have to say on that matter.
Alrighty then. So, Miki.
Uh-huh.
You ready?
I guess.
Alrighty. And he begins to just kind of motion to take your bag. Or any belongings that you can't carry yourself.
At this point, that's really her initial explorer's pack. She can carry everything else that she has in her bag of holding.
I mean, even the explorer's pack you could just stick in the bag of holding.
That's true.
And she didn't think to put it in there. She just looks at Torgrim and Annabelle. Can I get a hug before I go?
Of course.
Of course.
Hug the tiny burb.
Group hug the tiny burb.
Disappear into the arms.
Yeah. She is
Get
tiny.
lifted! Get lifted by the strong door!
She's tiny. She probably would disappear in a hug between the two of you.
It's funny because Torgrim's short and Annabelle's not, so Annabelle's kind of having to like bend down on her knees to hug both of them.
I'm gonna miss you guys.
Gonna miss you too.
Well, if you miss us, that's just more reason to come see us again.
I have to get better first. I have to be better.
Annabelle's just gonna pat Miki on the head. Just, you're already great, Michelle. This world is just a little bit more than you were expecting.
And that's alright.
I want to see it. I just have to. I have to get better at it first. I guess this is goodbye for now.
And I'm looking forward to saying hello again.
Okay. Tell Oleg, if you guys can, when you see him next, tell Oleg I'm sorry I couldn't tell him goodbye.
Of course.
Thank you. Alright, well. She's kind of. She stops looking awkward for a second, stands up as straight as she can, and then gives a very respectful bow to the both of you. Until we meet again.
Until we meet again, Michelle.
Be safe, Miki.
I'll do my best. And then she will turn and she will leave.
Alrighty. So, Derek begins to lead you toward the outskirts of the city. As you make your way out of the gate, you see 2 horses and then a carriage. But this carriage does not look like a regular one. Roll a perception check.
Perception?
Yes.
Okay. Nat 20.
This type of carriage is meant to carry something that has to be contained. There are many locks on this carriage as well.
Derek, what's going on?
Dark.
I could not hear anything you just said just then. Sorry.
Are we good?
Yeah, can hear you now.
Okay. He looks to you and says, "We have to return something to the Underdark." And then he gets on his horse.
We won't have to see Miss Dalmas, will we?
My microphone is having issues. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Ah. Lighting up, no sound. Sorry for the technical issues, everyone.
Okay. How about now?
I can hear you now.
Can hear you. Can hear you.
Okay. Where did you lose me?
I had heard have to return something to the Underdark, and Miki had asked, we won't have to see Miss Dolmas, will we?
We won't, he says. And then he kind of kicks his horse in order to make it begin to go.
Okay. I can't wait to see everyone else. What is it what is it that we're taking back with us?
You would rather I not tell you. And then with that perception check, you do hear something.
Okay, maybe it's a good thing I don't know.
And then the carriage that's containing this thing begins to pull forward. And then Derek kind of rears his horse and then has it come back around so it's closer to you. Don't worry. It'll be fine.
If you say it'll be fine, it will be.
Then you ride off out of the land of the burning forest. You take a look back. You see a large grove of orange trees fading in the distance as you ride off.
There are definitely tears in her eyes, but she, after looking back for a little bit, she turns her eyes forward and continues on.
Torgrim, Annabelle,
Yep.
Yeah.
friend has left you. And if I'm not mistaken, one of you has an appointment you need to keep. And it's getting close to that time.
Yep. Quickly before she has to leave, though, Annabelle's going to turn to Torgrim. Torgrim,
Yes.
not now, because I've got some rather pressing matters to attend to. But soon, I'd like to know everyone who has a pair of those gauntlets. And you know the ones I'm talking about.
There's only 2 people who have the gauntlets, right? Right?
Hmm.
There's only Torgrim knows of only 2 people who has the gauntlets, right?
Correct.
I only know of 2 people. Altreus and A man in Motorable robe. I don't know who he is. I don't know his name.
Well, that's unfortunate, but it's something we can talk about later. Because I
Of
have to
course.
go see how much I'm getting fined for, and then go get my face beaten in a training session.
Ah, wonderful.
Yep.
Good luck to you.
Yep. See you, Torgrim. Hopefully.
See ya, Annabelle.
And then she's gonna rush off to go make her appointment on time.
Alrighty. I'm gonna actually have to say that we're gonna have to call it here because it's getting late for me and I need to sleep.
Yeah, same.
And it doesn't help that we started late.
Yeah.
So
It's 1 in the morning.
yeah, so it's probably time for everyone to go to sleep.
All right.
Sorry,
We got
Danny.
a lot. We got
It's
a lot done
okay.
today.
Hey, at least got the big thing of the session with me taken care of.
Oh.
I'm sorry for everyone who doesn't like Annabelle compared to all the other characters. She has a bad habit of taking up screen time.
Don't worry about it.
In other campaigns, I don't talk very much. In this campaign, I talk a lot. All right.
Okay, so. Well, I hope everyone had fun.
Yee.
I did. It's very fun.
Fun as you can have when you're in prison, get your life threatened by what you assume to be an extraplanar entity, and also have to get a reality check of how bad of a person you are.
Yeah.
Don't you just love this campaign?
I do.
I said that with sarcasm.
Actually, I do love this campaign.
How dare you?
I do too.
Look
How
at the
dare you.
campaign. Look at the campaign I made, Night Hunter.
How dare all of you? How dare?
I like to suffer.
How dare?
Oh, don't pretend like you don't like to suffer.
My existence is suffering. What makes you think I like it?
Oh.
At least you can make other people suffer this way.
This is true.
Anyways.
Well, before we end out the stream, does anyone have any shilling they would like to do real fast?
Yeah.
Thursday, Thursday, 7 o'clock. We come back to other places. This channel, we have good time.
And you are DM.
I am DM. I sometimes be nice to them, other times am not.
Fair
and
enough.
also next week we're going back into Neoterra. And we will be missing some people, so I'm not really sure exactly if we'll be playing. If we have enough people, we will. Depends. Hopefully we'll be able to play.
It's a wait and see game.
Yep.
Yeah, so just this channel again next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. More D&D. And it's looking like Saturday will now be the day for Forest, and it's probably going to be on a bi-weekly basis for the time being. So back here again in 2 weeks at 9 p.m. EST on Saturday. So if that's everything, I think everybody should just say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. We'll see y'all next week.